Forests in games are pretty neat, right? From all the classic level or environmental themes in video games, like snow, lava, beach, underwater, or whatever, it is definitely my favorite. They often give me a certain comfy, melancholic, and nostalgic vibe. Maybe that has to do with the fact that I grew up in a small village with a forest nearby, in which I spent a lot of time in my childhood. Or maybe that has jack shit to do with it, I'm not sure. One franchise that has forest areas in pretty much every game is The Legend of Zelda. And most of them are pretty cool. I mean, the Lost Woods are maybe the most iconic video game forest there is. But it isn't my personal favorite from the Zelda franchise. My favorite Zelda forest is the Faroon Woods from Twilight Princess. I think one of the main things I like so much about this place is the weird mixture of vibes it gives off. It feels gloomy and dangerous, but also kinda peaceful and beautiful at the same time. The music definitely helps to bring this feeling across. It's one of my favorite tracks of the Twilight Princess soundtrack, which in itself might be my favorite soundtrack in the whole franchise. Faroon Woods isn't really that big, so let's just go on a little tour through it. When you enter it, you pretty much immediately get greeted by this little spring area, which I think is one of the prettiest spots in the game. I'm a big fan of how those sun rays shine through the leaves of the trees. It's a nice visual touch. Just like those small birds that fly around here, they give a bit of life to this place. Also, the water here just looks mwah. I have a weird fetish for pretty video game water, and this just hits the spot. Venturing a bit further, you can find the coolest dude in the whole game. It's this guy. You actually get your lantern from this guy, which he gives out for free so he can potentially sell more oil. Smart fucker. Just look at him with his afro and a bird's nest in his afro, just sitting on a tree stump that he turned into a chair. Just chilling, just living alone in a small house in the woods, selling oil to people that come by. He's the best. I wish I would be like him. Speaking of oil, I think it's pretty neat that after receiving your lantern, you have to traverse through this small cave, where you not only have to use your lantern to burn down a giant spider web, but where it's also so dark that you actually want to use the thing to see better. I'm not sure why, but I love these moments in games where darkness becomes a part of the gameplay in some form. Maybe it just adds a bit of immersion for me, you know? Suddenly it feels a bit less like you're walking through some video game level that someone built for you to enjoy, and a bit more like a real place. A real cave that's dark because that's just the way it is, and the cave doesn't fucking care if you can see well or not. After you pass through the cave, you land in an area that changes a bit after your first visit, so in a way there are two versions of it. And I'm a bigger fan of the first one. I love this ominous, bluish, foggy look this place has the first time you're here. It really nails that vibe of, hey, this is a dangerous place and you shouldn't really be here, which is absolutely fitting in the context of the story at this point in the game. When you return to this area later on, it has this poisonous purple gas on the ground and there's this white fume in the air, which is also kinda cool, but I still prefer the more spooky look it has before the change. After you made your way through this part, you come across the coolest shop in video game history. It's this tiny outer shop that sells oil and healing potion, and the shopkeeper is this super cool toucan who belongs to Lantern Guy here, I guess. His name is Koro, by the way, and the toucan is called Trill. After purchasing something here, you're supposed to pay by dropping your rubies in this small wooden box. If you pay what you're supposed to or more, Trill is really thankful. If you pay less than you are supposed to, he's a bit pissed off, but won't really do anything. But if you actually steal something, he will try to, kill you. This shop is genuinely one of my favorite parts of Faroon Woods. It adds so much charm and personality to it. Speaking of personality, how cool is it that the first dungeon in the game is in this gigantic tree? And the bridge you have to cross to get to it is actually a branch from said tree. I think that's pretty cool. And I know how we can end this video on a beautiful note. Grab yourself a cookie or a marshmallow or something, and we will watch the sun rise together. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.